Can I talk about his mom?
All right, everybody. So thanks for joining us. We just came off of a long 2 hours with one of the members from Team Nick and Gene MMA YouTube channel. Hopefully you'll hear some bits and pieces of it. Right now, we are setting up to get John from Brand X on. Anthony, why don't you talk for a fucking second so I can do what I got to do?
Are you done yet? I'm all talked out. So hopefully we're able to pull something interesting from the conversation that we just had with Nick Gust. Levi was having technical difficulties, so we weren't able to get him on. He was having internet connection problems or women problems or something. I'm not sure. So hopefully we can get something going with John here, and it'll be interesting and not drawn out.
Yeah, so I don't know how much of it's going to make the show, but we did we tried an interview with both of them. We did an interview with Nick. We did an interview with me as Nick.
Which was easily the best part.
And we did have a nice conversation there at the end, which I'd like to get in there, which is a little bit about how Nick got into fighting, his last fight and what the results were of that. I think there's probably, out of the 2 hours, there's probably a solid 8 minutes that we can use.
Solid 8 minutes.
So we're just, yeah, the fucking echo. So we'll just keep this going. So be funny until John gets on, because he's better at being funny than we are.
Is he? Is he really? I'm going to ask him about Deuce, him.
No, you
pissing
better.
off
I don't
Deuce.
know that we can talk about that on the air, so why don't you?
Why not?
Yeah, so if he
It's our
says
show,
no,
we
then
can
we'll
talk
just cut it
whenever we
out. So it's our show. Hey, can you come on?
This is our show. Can you come on?
Can you
so
come
we
on
can
and
talk
bail
shit?
us out, and then we'll.
Then we'll just talk shit about you. We need a punching bag. Are you available?
And then I'm gonna ask him what he's got to talk about.
I think we should, for 100% sure. So
So
what do you
what
got
brings
to
you on,
talk
John?
about? God, that'd be hilarious. Yeah, that would be fucking great. And then don't say anything. Just wait for him to respond.
Those of you that don't know, John was on about a month and a half ago or so, and then he went back on his own show and complained about that we were ill prepared, which it was 100% true. I mean,
Ill prepared is the best prepared we've ever been.
so basically it was, John, you want to come on our show? And he's like, yeah, sure, I'll come on. And then he got on, and it's like, so what do you want to talk about?
Oh, fuck.
And I don't know what's taking him so long. I assume he just sits in his studio waiting to talk to somebody.
The mic, he's got the mic queued up, ready to go. Just come on,
You're on the air.
somebody.
Go ahead. Go ahead, caller.
Oh shit!
Will you quit fucking with that thing?
I can't help it.
Those of you that
It's a
Those of
fidget.
you
I
that
need
don't
to
know,
spin it.
Anthony has taken up fidget spinning as a hobby. He is thinking about
It's not a hobby.
he's looking to get
professional.
sponsored for professional fidget spinning. He can do tricks like he can make it spin clockwise and counterclockwise.
I can do tricks like Doug's mom.
What? Wait a minute. What?
Wait a minute. Your mom is a whore. That's
That's something that we don't talk about enough on here is each other's moms.
I agree. I agree 100%.
I think you and Don should have a fidget spin-off.
Yep. He hasn't called in for a while. Hope he's okay. Yeah.
What do you want to talk about, John?
What do you got to talk about?
Oh, I've got got stuff to talk about.
Oh, you actually do.
Oh, yes.
All right.
Oh, we're recording.
Yeah, we're
Listen, I'm just waiting for the go, which is be funny.
Be funny. Go.
Okay. Are you
how we
guys
start
out of
every
your
show,
fucking
right?
mind? What is wrong
doing,
with
John?
you two?
I'm not sure what you're referring to.
Well, I've got Rap Too Fat to Fly over here, and
Oh shit.
Coffee MC in there breaking our balls. You know, we bring you into the Hush Your Face network, and all you do is you get out shovels and bury us. You should be ashamed of yourself. How
Not only
dare
that,
you?
we asked to be on the network.
Yeah. Yeah, I vouched for you. I vouched for you two morons. Oh yeah, they're funny.
That'll teach you, won't it?
They're looking to come in and be a member. And then what do? You come in there and the guy that made that. Just let me educate you two.
Please
The guy
do,
that
Professor.
made guy that made that rap video is
Oh,
one of the
there's a video?
nicest guy.
I gotta see
No.
the video.
The song.
There's
I'm
a
sorry, the
video?
rap song.
Oh.
The rap song. The guy that made. Listen, I can barely. My words in my mind never come out of my mouth. The guy Jason from 3 is Comedy who made that rap is one of the nicest guys you'll ever want to meet.
Never said he wasn't.
And listen,
He just doesn't rap for
here's
shit.
the other thing. He'll never say anything because he takes the high road. He doesn't go down into the depths. Unlike me.
So what was his response? Nothing. He had no response.
You know what? I don't know. I didn't even say anything to anybody yet. I'm actually almost
For
trying to. I guess I'm trying to protect you two.
Why?
Well, because okay. So what
Are
do
we
you
gonna get
want
beat up?
No, but what do you want out of this? Do you want to fight with the members of the Hush Your Face network? Is that what you
No,
want?
I want him to disavow that rap.
Stop it. Let's. What can you do over there, MC Call?
My lack of ability does not make that song any better.
I've listened to Jason rap before. He's a drummer. He's in a band. He did that because they were looking for a promo to play for the other people. And you know what? If rap's not your cup of tea, that's fine.
I love rap.
I love rap
Okay.
music.
I could tell by the way you butchered that one song. You were like by the end, you were 4 verses behind. You were.
Did it?
It was like you were running for a bus.
Hey, you can't laugh at somebody
Did it
that's
make you
having a
laugh?
stroke. That's not very nice.
Honestly, I was uncomfortable. Okay, and I'll tell you why.
No, John.
Okay, I'll
when
tell
I
you
was
why I was
rapping,
uncomfortable.
did it make you laugh?
Oh yeah, that did.
Right. Just
That did.
that's the
Yes.
fucking point.
No, I know.
Oh, so that's the whole point.
Well, no.
So our
Yeah,
show made you
it did
uncomfortable
because
when we were
because
talking
it's
shit
you know
about
what
your
he's a friend of mine.
rap
He's a good friend of mine, and you guys are burying him like a cat turd in a sandbox, and he don't deserve that. I mean, what's wrong with you two? If you don't,
The rap is
then
terrible.
Don't
That's what
play it. Don't play
I
it.
was under the impression
Play
that we
something
had to
else.
play it.
No.
Well, I know that now.
Jeez, I said, hey, listen, in the last episode, the one I'm editing right now, the last episode we just released, I said, we'll be right back after this promo from the Hush Your Face Network, and I forgot to put it in. So, it's one of those things.
So here's where I'm at. I would play it again and do the whole show.
Well,
I'd
of
make fun
course,
of it
that's
again.
your-
It's a
you
bad
go-
it's a bad song. It's not good.
That's your
Just
opinion.
because the guy's
That's
a
your
nice
opinion,
guy.
it's not good.
Doesn't mean that he should
Listen,
be
all
rapping.
right, it's no gangster's paradise, but it's, come on.
I can see you really up on your rap game, John.
It's funny. My son's 15, and he's here with me for a couple days, and he's like, "Dad, did you hear this song?" And I'm like, "No, I've never heard it before."
Was it the promo for the Hush Your
No,
Face?
that
thing?
I've heard. That I've heard.
I mean, it's no rapper's delight,
No.
but
Listen, it's no. What's the? Oh my God. Okay. Again, I'm not
So,
really.
John,
listen. You hear me.
you're
talk.
going down a slippery. You're going down a slippery
I
slope
am.
because you're already starting to talk shit about the thing that you came on here to protect.
No. I'm just saying that if you didn't like the song, you guys make it sound like it was done by Jay-Z or, I don't know who else.
No.
What,
He is no Jay-Z.
Of course not. But I'll tell you. Okay.
So I wasn't trying to make it sound like it was done by
They've
somebody
been-
professional, but even for an amateur, it was.
Again, this is a matter of opinion. You're entitled to your opinion. stupid as it is. And, other people are entitled to their opinion. And here's my thing.
I disagree with you. I think that is universally a terrible song.
Okay. So my thing is that just don't play it. Come up with a better. Listen. All right, you two. I'm tasking you to make a better promo. It doesn't have to be a rap. It can be whatever. Make a better promo. Put your money where your mouth
Okay,
is.
perfect.
Anthony,
He won't do nothing. He's got nothing.
Yes.
Anthony.
start
Here we go.
start beatboxing. We're gonna do this
Go
shit
ahead.
live. www.hushyourface.
That's all I got.
You know what? Nobody's gonna be able to find it with my promo because I only put 2 W's in there.
So, like I said, my lack of talent doesn't make a shitty song.
Well,
better.
I'm just saying is that, we're a
John,
podcast
all right,
network that we
I
try to
I
promote.
appreciate.
No, you don't. No, you don't.
You didn't even let me fucking finish my
No, you
sentence.
don't.
I never do usually.
no, you
I know
don't.
where you're going.
No, you
Okay.
don't.
All right. No, you don't. No, you don't. You don't know where I'm going. I was going to say I appreciate you wanting to stick up for your friend.
Okay.
So you have to realize where we were coming from. One, I thought it was a requirement to be on the network to play the promo.
Okay.
Two, we don't know the guy.
Right.
We don't know if he's nice. I've listened to the show. I don't know that he's a nice guy in real life. I don't know anything about the guy.
Mhm.
I was told that I was under the impression that we had to play the promo to be on the network. So we both listened to it. We came up with an opinion, and we had a choice. We were either going to be full of shit and just drop it in and not even acknowledge that we played it, or we were going to drop it in and then just be honest what we thought about it. And of course, when you're behind the mic, as you know,
Right.
sometimes when you're riffing, whatever, it just goes a little further than what you had anticipated.
You forgot number 3. I'm an asshole. That's.
Oh, trust me, that has not. I know that
I mean,
because and
That's
where
it.
do I get to number 2? Where do I get to my number 2
Go
thing
on.
about you two?
all right.
Okay, so number
What?
2 is that at the end of our show we always do shout outs, and I'm
Yeah.
a big fan of your show. at
Oh yeah,
times.
it really tell. You can tell.
So when I started talking about it, then I would listen next week. Oh yeah, John just ripped the shit out of us last week. I'm like, what did I just said, I came on. I said, hey, listen, it's not what I'm not used to. I'm used to having something here, and it was awkward for me, not for you guys. You're used to it, but it was awkward for me, and I was just being honest. And then I get ripped. So I'm
Those
like,
of you that didn't hear the episode, John's raving review of us was the most awkward conversation I've ever had. Like when you're sitting in a bar staring at a TV.
that's
what
not
were we
really
supposed to
how-
take away from that?
I said you're talking, and then the conversation topic ends, and you have nothing to go to, and you're like standing there staring at each other. You have nothing to say to each other, so you're like looking around. You drink your beer. You're looking at your TV. That's all I said. Okay. I've told everybody. So then I said, well, you know what?
Yeah.
Maybe I'll just not say anything because I don't know what to do. I don't want to offend them. I don't want,
You will never offend me. I guarantee you that.
But that
So-
raving review you gave us just drove a huge number of people to our show.
Right, which is what? Oh, from
Yeah, that was
from
satire.
our audience, you're lucky you got 5. If you got half,
You're
if you got
lucky you
half
got
our
5.
audience, you would have got 5
And-
people. So
I don't believe that for a minute.
So then we would have doubled our audience.
exactly. So anyhow, but
So
I-
how
again-
much damage did we cause? Are we off the network?
no, I don't know.
Because I mean, we can make sure we're off the network if that's what
If you
needs to
want to
happen.
be off the network, just tell them. Just tell them no, and then it's fine.
What fun is
So
that?
the
though?
first thing, do you think that? So I know the answer to this, but do you think that the guy that runs the network?
Rocky.
Do you? Well, I didn't want to say his name because of what I'm going to say next, but
Okay.
no. I interact with him quite a bit on Facebook. I like
Okay.
him. Do you think that he listened to our show before we came on the network?
Yes.
Okay. What do? All we do is talk shit.
Right.
We talk shit about each other for half the episode.
That's true.
So why wouldn't we talk shit? We're not going to say. So out of respect, and I did it even when we were talking about that rap, I said, there's some shows on there that I listen to, which I listen to every time they put a new episode out. But there's some shows on there that I wouldn't listen to again. I couldn't listen to again. And I didn't say them by name.
Okay. Well, and again, you know me, I name names. But here's the thing. I agree. I know what you're saying. Like, I'm not a gamer, okay? I really don't play video games or anything like that. So the Horrible Gamers show, they get on there and they talk about games and systems and stuff like that. And it goes right over my head. Now, they're in there digging, they're doing something, they're cutting out a niche to talk to, and they're doing a show every week. And as you know, this isn't easy to do. It takes time. So I say, hey, listen, it's not my cup of tea, but give me a listen. All right. I'm supportive of them. I give them a shout out every week, and I don't say anything about them because I just don't listen. I mean, if they're on Facebook, I stop in and listen to them for a little bit just to see what they're up to. But again, they're talking, they might as well be talking in Japanese. I really don't understand what they're saying. Not on them, on me.
That's content, though, not quality.
I don't see the difference between what you just said about them and what we said about that rap.
You don't? What? You have no idea. What concussion are you on? How many times have you been concussed? You can't see the difference in what I said about a show that I don't listen to because it's not my cup of tea, and the half-hour asshole reaming you gave that rap song. You can't see the difference.
And that's after the edited version, which was about another half hour.
Oh. That's probably true.
We edited out all the unfunny stuff.
All right, so hold on. I'm not done with Anthony yet. So then so then Doug says to me, he sends me a message on Facebook. So you mad at us? And I said, absolutely not. I said, I'm a big fan of your show. If you ever need anything, listen, you said to me, we're ready to do a show. Can you jump on right now? I came down, jumped on the computer. I'm on your show right now. I'm here to support people in the network, even though.
So are we.
Oh, I can tell. So I don't give you, I just say, hey, Doug and Anthony, check them out. So then Doug sends me a thing. I said, oh, it's good. So now I'm listening to this show. He says, yeah, I thought John was mad at us. He's like, no, that's not it. Fuck him. He's a jerk off.
That's
then
funny.
He said, that's hysterical. So then he says,
so John,
well, was he supposed to be on the show tonight? Oh, don't stop. Don't stop me. Don't interrupt me. I got to get this off my chest.
Before I sent you that message.
Oh, okay. So then he's...
And it was a joke.
So then you need some work on your jokes. So then he says... Well, hang on. I'm not done.
Seinfeld,
so then
you are
he
not,
says... Right. Then he says... He goes... Well, wasn't he supposed to be on the show? He says, oh, well, they're recording at the same time. Oh, he is? Does he have a call-in line? Like, you're going to call in. And I'm like, oh, I wish I had a call-in line. Oh, what I've loved for you. Because you go, does he have a call-in line? Like, you're going to call in and give me the business. And I'm like, oh. Right now, I'm trying to figure out how to get a call-in line. I'm going to pay money to have a call-in line just so Anthony can call and give me the business.
Oh,
I was talking to my cousin, and I was telling him about the show. I was telling him about what was going on. And I said, could you imagine if he called in and started to give me some trouble? He goes, oh, that wouldn't have went well. I said, oh, I know.
Yeah, you just mute the line so he couldn't get a word in.
Oh, no. I did it one time for Deuce. And again, it was... Listen, no more politics on this show. The whole show almost went down the tubes because we talked politics twice.
So that was the best. That was amazing. That moment, you could tell he was so pissed.
Oh, yeah.
I loved it.
Yeah, he was pissed. No, you know what? I mean, we
because it was real.
We
man.
mess around.
Real.
Yeah, but that was too real. We mess around and everything, and we argue and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, we're still friends and everything, and it's fine. You turn off the mics. That day, he was upset. And, we've been friends for 30 years. And I don't want to upset him. I don't want to make him mad like that. I felt like shit after that, to be quite honest with you. But, and I left him alone for a little while. And, we started talking and we talked it out. We hugged it out. And he was back on the next week and we're doing the show again. So we're here to help you out. And I guess I don't have it. I was going to do this on our show because trust me, I was pulling clips.
Please, still do. Please do.
I was pulling clips.
Don't be afraid. Use them.
Right.
You
But then
can
I
even
said to
clip them
myself,
together and make it something I didn't even say. I don't give a fuck.
oh, don't think I wasn't thinking about doing that. Trust me, I had that in my mind.
You have my express permission to do that. I don't care.
So is that all the bones you have to pick with us then?
Yeah, that's all I can remember for right now. Hey, there's another thing. Like if I don't like somebody, I never say, so I hope you die or I hope you get cancer. You know what I say to them? I hope you move. How's that move going, Doug?
You're right. We need to work on our jokes.
Yeah, funny guy.
Hey. Well, I've moved, I guess, probably, I've been here 3 years, but before that I moved once a year for 4 years, and I couldn't stand it. So when I found out you're moving from where you are now to the East Coast, that's got to be a real nightmare. And then
Yeah,
you
it's
have to work,
It's a little
Too.
bigger project than what I was planning on.
right? Because you have all that stuff that you've stored away that you don't even remember you had. And now are you going to pack it up or throw it away? What do you do with it?
Oh, I got a dumpster sitting outside right now, a 20-yard dumpster, and there's as much going in there as going in the truck.
He rented one of those smart cars, and that's all he's taking. Whatever can fit in a smart car. doesn't even have a back
I don't
seat.
know I don't know what a smart car is.
It's like a
All right, so Anthony's trying to be funny.
it's a little
Nothing about that was funny.
No, it's a little tiny car.
Oh, like the 2-seater.
Yeah.
I know what you're
Yes.
talking about now. Yes. Okay. I'm sorry. I know what you're talking about now.
Yeah, it
All
wasn't.
right,
It
so now's
wasn't
the point in
funny.
the show where I start. Now's the point in the show when I start looking shit up on the internet because Anthony's boring me.
Jeez.
Is that rough?
So what you said in your last, the reason why I reached out to you was during your podcast shout outs.
Mm-hmm.
And of course that's what I really look forward to because you talk about me.
Right. I'm not going to lie. When I know shows are going to say something about, I go right to that. So I listen to it first, and then I go back and listen to the rest of the show. I understand that.
So I think it was Deuce
Mm-hmm.
said, "Who's right with Doug and Anthony?" And you kind of fiddle fucked around with your computer for a little bit, and you looked up and said, I was distracted doing something else. And then you went right to the next thing. I'm like, all right, you motherfucker.
The issue with that was I wasn't even listening to what Deuce was saying because I was doing something else.
So-
I probably didn't even know that he said your name or your show, and then I moved on to something else.
So
it wasn't intentional.
we, again, I've said this and I'll say it over and over again, I'm sure in the future. A lot of what this show has become is owed to you. The way that we're recording right
You're
now.
blaming me for this?
The way
Thank you.
we're recording right now is because of you. The mic I'm using is because of you. Our
Right.
sound quality is improved. Our content is still the same shit as it was
Well, I
in
don't
the
know. You
first
still got a
episode.
shitty editor, but besides that,
Now that
You're
just
just-
cuts deep, man. Come on. What did I ever do to you?
I'm gonna have to give Anthony some sound processing lessons. But besides that, you guys are doing a lot better. And trust me, I wake up Sunday morning and it's the first thing I pee first and then I listen to the show. And you know that because I'm immediately tweeting Sunday morning at like 9:00.
Yeah, and so
About the show.
You weren't too upset about this whole rap thing because you put out like 14 fucking tweets trying to get something going between us and them.
I never mentioned them in that. They might have. I don't think I mentioned that you. Well, maybe I did.
You did several times.
Okay.
I think there.
But he won't do it. But they're he's not that type.
That didn't
He's not
stop.
that
That
type of
didn't
guy
stop
that's
you
going
from
to.
trying to instigate.
I just know. You know what I was? I was sticking up for him.
No, you
because
weren't.
he's not.
That-
Sure, I am. I was. That was my intention.
But
He's a good guy,
So-
and he's a good friend of mine.
what does that have to do with anything?
Nobody's ever said he wasn't a good guy, but your tweets were worded in a way that you were trying to get an argument going.
Maybe between the two of, maybe between us and you, me and you. No,
Nope.
Wrong.
Fake news.
fake news. It's so funny because I have such a horrible memory that I have no idea what I say.
Well, the last
Like,
time
so
you
you
were on,
say-
you said
so
you were going
someone
to
would
suck our
say-
dicks.
No, I did not. That I know. But that it's funny because I'm trying to think. I'm looking at right now to see if I can see anything in here that I sent about you guys. Here we go. Check out MC Too Fat to Fly. That was the one I sent.
Rude.
And then the rap stylings of Who's Right Pod. And then that one I actually use my Overcast app. So if anybody clicks on that link, it goes right to where you're doing the rap. What's that rap that you were doing? I can't think of the name of it now.
Alphabet Aerobics.
It's the one that Doug just. That's it. So
I
it
can
takes
do
it
it
right
live
to
if you
that
want.
spot so they could listen to that.
Please don't.
Oh,
Please don't.
You're right. I did. I said I smell rap battle between Who's Right and Three Is Count. Okay. I see
So
what
is
you're
their
saying.
show funny?
Yeah, I like it. I listen to it all the time. They're on 3 times a week. They do 3 shows a week: Monday, Wednesday, and Friday.
All right. So, John, is your show funny?
Sometimes.
Is
Sometimes.
is
Not always.
Bad Cop funny?
Yeah, they're funny.
All right. When Anthony asked you if that other show was funny, you said they're on 3 times a week.
Oh, I like it. Yes. All right. Let me clear everything up. So I don't want to make any I find 3 Is Comedy a very funny
All right.
show. I think it's
Very
entertaining.
good.
I love Jason, Mindy, and Bob. I listen to them 3 times a week. I don't listen. I wouldn't listen to them if they sucked.
Oh, and
Okay.
yeah, I don't doubt
But
that.
then again, look, there's different tastes for different people. There's shows that you like
no,
that I'm
no,
not
no,
a
no,
fan
no,
of.
no. First off, I've never said I didn't like their show. Not once have I ever said
Okay.
anything bad about their show.
Okay.
Neither have I.
What?
I-
But go ahead.
No,
I
he
never
didn't.
said it. What?
Oh, just the rap.
What did I ever
Okay,
say
the
bad
rap.
about their show?
Well,
I didn't even
Anthony,
know they
you
did it.
You don't even listen to podcasts.
Me?
Do you?
Well,
Yes.
I listen to podcasts every single day.
Which ones?
Well, that's
None of the ones on our network, I would
that's
imagine.
irrelevant.
Do you listen to our show, the Brand X podcast?
Occasionally,
Occasionally. Okay.
I-
What about Bad Cop, Bad Cop?
I listen to a half of one episode.
Okay. So you listen to podcasts every day. Which one do you listen? Which podcast do you listen to?
I listen to the Joe Rogan Experience
Okay.
and Abe Lincoln's Top Hat,
I've never heard of that one.
political,
Okay.
and
All right.
last podcast on the left.
Okay.
So one of the
All
things
right.
that I found out you guys are talking about this, an interesting conversation, is I quit listening to what I guess you'd call the popular, the mainstream podcast, and I look for the smaller ones because I think they're more entertaining. They quit trying to appeal to mass.
Mhm.
Fucking Bad Cop is probably my favorite podcast. They are fucking hilarious.
I have to agree with you. Those guys, when I listen to a podcast, usually you have to listen to it like 3 or 4 times. I'll give it 5. I'll give it 5 episodes to listen to it, and I'll listen to it. And then usually the first 2 or 3, I'm like, That show, the first show I listened to, I was like, these are my people. I mean, these two here, these guys are phenomenal. And to me, they're so funny that I actually get annoyed at them because I want to be that funny, and I'm not. So, but I know Jerry. We talk through social media and stuff like that. We've called, we've talked to persons. They've been on our show. And just two of the nicest guys. And another show that really promotes our show and does their best to help us, get listeners and stuff like that. And I really appreciate that. And that's what I'm talking about with the Hush Your Face Network is that, the other shows, they try to share their audience with the other podcasts. Because remember, we're only putting out one show a week. It's an hour, maybe an hour and a half. And there's plenty of other time for people to listen to podcasts. So why not direct them to a show that you enjoy, that you would think that if you like our show, why not
First
listen to
off,
another show? You
I am
guys.
all
First,
for
hold-
that.
no. I gotta say something. All right. So you see how much I post on social
Yes.
media. I post more for Hush Your Face shit than anybody else on the network.
Yeah, you might be
Other
right.
than, okay, I promote other people's shows. Nobody brought that other show into it until you tweeted their name. All we did is talked about the promo, and nobody would have known where that came from.
Right.
We have somehow built up. I don't know why, but we have built up a pretty good audience.
Okay, good.
And
You got a funny
you're
show.
the one that drugged. You're the one that drugged that other podcast into.
Oh, listen,
it.
I'm a shit starter from way back. Matter of fact, let me tell you a story. Bad Cop, when I first started listening to them, and I don't know these two. I don't know these two guys at all. All right? I'm just listening to the show. And they were, at the very end of the show, they started talking about Juliet Miranda from The Unwritable Rant. And they were calling her the bourbon bitch. And, this and it's got oak overtones and all this. And they were making fun of her. So, me being the shit starter that I am, I said, hey, Juliet, these guys are bourbon drinkers. Maybe you could give them give them some tips. And I did the same thing. I took my podcast app, I set it right to where they were blasting her, and I sent it out. And of course, she took the high road, and she didn't play into it. And then, of course, Jerry's like, "You shit starter." you know, and we didn't even know each other, but I kind of knew from his show that he would appreciate that.
The only way that I'm interested in doing a podcast and continuing to do a podcast is if I can say what I like, and that's the whole point of all this, right? I absolutely, that song is garbage. I can't get on my own show, play that song, and then just let it go.
Do me a favor, don't play that song anymore. Matter of fact,
Why?
as a member,
it's so bad that I want
as a
to
member
play.
of the Hush Your Face Network, I ban you from playing that rap.
You
that
really
promo
shouldn't have said
anymore.
Yeah, absolutely not.
you
ban you.
absolutely shouldn't have said that.
I have everything. I have everything.
You're not
unhooked.
allowed.
I have everything unhooked right now.
That's
I
it.
have-
I'm pulling my plug.
I have everything unhooked now.
Right now, I'm
so,
erasing the plug for.
I don't have the
Who's
means
right?
to that song while we're speaking. But
Oh, you want me to do it?
oh, please,
Yes. Absolutely, I do.
I don't have it all. You know what? I don't have it. See, I put it in afterwards. I don't. What we do is we go to a break and then we go right back to the show again, and then I put it in post. So I don't have it on my board.
Fuck it. We'll fix it in post.
Right. Exactly. That's what I say.
ban us. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. You were going to tell us what we can't do on our show. Come on, guy. You're basically saying,
But anyhow,
you're basically saying, make fun of the show, make fun of this song when you do that.
You
That's
are
not
telling
true.
us we have to.
You are telling us we have to.
no. Just let it go. Why do
do
you
you
have to
not
do
realize
that?
that we're like 8 years old? You said don't touch the stove. I have to
That's
put
true.
my hand on the fucking stove, man.
That's ridiculous. I don't know. I just think you guys. It was just a little over the top. Whatever.
I don't think we went far enough.
Of course you don't. Of course you don't. Listen, one day you're going to do something. Someone's going to grab your show, and they're going to do the same thing to you guys.
Good. I want our show sucks. what?
There is like
What is,
there's like 34 hours of material for them to choose from. They can pick something at random.
That is true because the Bold and Belligerent Show, which is another good podcast, they're not on the Hush Your Face Network, but they're another good podcast. And there's one guy, Luke, and he's a cranky old 25-year-old guy. All he does is shit on people. I always said, Luke is like a dog that drank salt water. He just spreads shit all over everything. So for weeks, I was burying him on our podcast. So finally couldn't take it anymore. And he said, at the very end of the show, they were talking about shows. He goes, that show that you guys like, they're horrible, the Brand X podcast. And he went on and he just ripped us. Well, I couldn't have been happier. I pulled the clips. We did a whole bit on it. So you're right. If someone rips your show, then, you can be happy
don't
about it.
care. I mean, anything that I've said, I'll go to church and say it in front of the church crowd. I don't give a fuck. What difference does it make to me? I said it, so
That's the Church of the Flying Jesus?
yeah, spaghetti monster.
Okay.
Anthony, he was referencing something that we talked.
I know
Fuck.
what he was referencing. I know.
You sure?
I know. Oh, I know.
Okay.
I wasn't going to give you the satisfaction of getting that joke in.
He was plugging our show on our show. It's like Inception.
That's like Inception.
You're making it sound like we sit here and tear people apart, and we don't. I think every episode I talk about a podcast that I've listened to that most people probably haven't heard of
Yeah.
yet.
But that doesn't matter. The good things don't matter that
You've-
we do. The good things that we do for the community don't matter.
Do you ever
So
hear that
I-
thing where it says two rights don't make a wrong better?
So I've tweeted more about the Hush Your Face Network. As a matter of fact, I think I just sent one out 2 days ago or yesterday that recommended everybody go there and check out all the podcasts because I'm sure there's something that'll fit everybody's taste. I've never seen that from you. I've never seen that from anybody else.
Yeah, I'm horrible with that social media stuff.
Right.
I
so
really am.
the whole
But
The
we're
whole
the
point of this-
assholes.
Yes.
be it,
No, you know what? I'm not. Hold on. I'm not including Doug on this. I'm not saying Doug's the asshole.
Well,
You,
okay.
my friend.
okay. I can
What
I can
the
get behind you on this,
fuck?
John. You're
I
right.
figured you would.
You're fucking kidding me, right?
You're a prick, Anthony. Fuck, that guy put all that work into that song, and you just tore it apart.
Oh my god.
So
Asshole.
I hope you're fucking joking.
What an asshole.
words hurt.
I'm calling
Anthony.
the fucking FCC
Words
on you.
hurt.
Well, I want to know why me and not Doug, because Doug's just as much of an asshole. And
Doug's
he's
a nice
fat.
guy. Hey, us fat guys got to stick together. Ooh, let me tell you something about you guys were talking about the how do you know if you're too fat to fly or you're too fat to get one seat?
Yeah.
I'll tell you how. Because I'm that guy. So I go to get on a plane and I go to get my ticket and there's a seat that's right at the ticket booth. It's an airplane seat and it's just sitting there. If they take a look at you and they think you're too fat to fly, they make you go over there and sit in the
Take a look
fat
at
seat
ya.
of shame. And if you can't wedge your ass into that thing and not overflow it,
Oh, that would
you got to
be
buy 2
humiliating.
tickets.
That would be
Right.
humiliating. It's like at the theme
So-
park where they have the little fake seat to see if you're
Bring
tall
the
ejecting
bar
to get
down. Yes.
Wow. Is
Yeah,
that real?
so
Are
I
you
go
serious?
there, and the lady goes, "Sir, I'm going to need you to go over there and sit in that chair." And I said, "Why? Are you ejecting me into the plane?" And she goes, "No, well, we got to see if you're too big for the airplane seat. You might have to buy 2 seats." And I looked her square in the eye, and I said, "Ma'am, if you think I'm sitting in that chair, you're out of your mind, number one." I said, if I have to sit in that chair, put another seat on that credit card. And I had to buy 2 seats. So I get in there, and I got my 2 seats, and I spread out. I pull the seat arm up. I'm all comfortable. I get the seatbelt extender. "Hey, you got that fat guy seatbelt extender?" "Yeah." "Okay, I'll have one of them." So I'm sitting there. Matter of fact, I even got 2 meals. I said, "Oh, this seat here, it gets a meal. Bring it on over." So I'm sitting there, and a guy comes in. He's at the aisle seat, and all of a sudden he starts putting his stuff there. And I go, "What are you doing?" He goes, "Well, there's nobody in that seat." I go, "You know why? I'm too fat to fly. I had to buy that seat. So if you want to put your shit there, it's $100. And he
It's
looked at me and he
$100.
giggled. He kind of chuckled, and I just stared at him with this death stare. And he picked his stuff up and put it on his lap. That's a true story. So that's how you know if you're too fat to fly. They put you in the fat seat of shame at the ticket booth.
That's fucking
If
terrible.
they had any
I know.
decency about them, they'd put that fucking seat behind the curtain. And then you could go
Right.
down there and practice sitting down.
Right.
I'd go behind the curtain and pull my pants
Well-
down. Whoops, is that not right?
So when you were telling that story about flying and getting into those planes and having to get into those seat and to cross your arms and everything, my heart went out to you because I know I don't fly because of that.
Yeah, I was able to wedge in there, but I think I'm only about 1 Salisbury steak away from having to buy 2 seats myself.
I wonder if the train's any better. Well, when you get into those smaller planes, they ask you for your weight. How much do you weigh? And then you're like, well, I better tell them because, matter of fact, I think I'm going to add 100.
The plane might not be able
Right,
to
I'm
take
going to
off.
add a couple 100 pounds because I know that broad over there didn't give her a right weight.
We're just going to drive there in the plane.
Down the highway. We lost a wing at the toll booth. But yeah, so that flying thing.
So wait. You did a pretty good job of misdirection here. How the fuck are you blaming this all on me?
Well, the calling me an asshole and you're going to call into the show, you're going to tell me a thing or two. That puts you right into asshole status, in my opinion. Doug wasn't going to do that. Just you.
Because he's a pussy.
No, he's not. No, he's not.
See, he can't even stand up for himself. You gotta
Tell him,
fight his
Steve
battles
Dave.
for him. No, he's not. No, he's not.
Listen,
Anything?
Doug's the funny one on the show. Okay, you're just the sidekick. The only reason you're here is because you have a microphone, a mixer, and you can edit. If it wasn't for that, he would have another co-host.
Wow. That's awesome. You don't think I know
Hey,
that already?
And listen, Doug, stop springing to action and defending Anthony. I get it; he's your friend. Stop trying
Listen,
to defend him.
John,
Stop
John.
yelling and defending him.
When has
John.
he ever defended me?
In all seriousness, I will stop you when you start lying.
Okay.
Name one time that he's ever defended me.
It was like 2 weeks. It was like 2 weeks ago when I
See?
said that your mom was a nice lady.
That's true. And he was going to tell her that when he went over that night.
You just can't leave well enough alone, can you?
Nope.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
So, what funny thing? So we had somebody on tonight. We started recording at 8:00 our time. That was 3 hours ago,
Mhm.
and It didn't go well.
Can you tell? Can you tell
It didn't
me who it
go
was?
well.
He's a Ultimate
Yeah.
Fighter.
I'll cut it out. I'll cut out anything.
No, I mean, because I think we're going to tie parts of it into this episode anyway. But he's an MMA fighter. They have a.
Oh,
I'm sure you've seen me tweet about it, but they've got a YouTube channel,
okay.
and they do a lot of live shows, and it must be a lot different feeling because he just wasn't with it. He wasn't able to articulate his thoughts. But
me and him started the show very aggressive towards each other.
You and the MMA guy, or you and Doug?
Yes, no, me and the
That's a
MMA.
shock. You're a big tough guy when you're behind the microphone in your house.
No, I'm not. I'll be the first one to tell you I'm not a tough guy. I am big, but I'm not a tough guy.
Well, I could tell with the picture of you on the moped.
See? I ain't ashamed.
I know. There was we're doing a story on this next podcast where there was a girl out in San Diego who she was riding a moped and she lost control and she hit a sign, a street sign, and it severed her arm off right below right at the shoulder. She got like a little nub.
That happened to my uncle.
And she put a ad on Tinder, and she said her what was it? Oh, her occupation was a one-armed bandit, and you know she's looks 9 out of 10, personality 20 out of 10, arms 1 out of 2, and it went viral. So I went in and I was checking out her pictures and everything, and she's a very attractive girl. Now again, I think she's 21 or 22, but she's a very attractive girl. And now she's getting all this attention, and I don't think she was really ready for this because I'm following her on Twitter. She hasn't blocked me yet, like that cunt Jasmine Kane. But
Well, that's staying in.
I still stand that she looks like Brian Adams in that photo.
Take it personal when somebody blocks you.
Big manly arms. The only thing that bro was missing was an Adam's apple.
You got something you want to say, or
No, I was
can
just
jump in
saying
here?
that.
Okay,
You know,
okay.
she was like a very attractive girl, and I was trying to with Deuce. I was saying, you know, what kind of physical handicap would be too much to overcome? You know, if she was a good looker. I mean, how good looking would she have to be for you to date her missing an arm? Would she have to be like an 8, a 9?
A 3.
You know, a 3. Listen, I can understand that. As long as it doesn't look like a German Shepherd, you're on top of it.
Yeah.
But besides that, I forget where I was going. Now I really
You're
feel like
right
I'm
there
in
with us.
I feel like I'm
All
in the
right,
flow
so
of the show.
one, I think I understand the
Yes,
question.
I am.
Say you have a girl that's a 10 with all her everything, and then
Right.
so what handicap could you give her to where you would no longer have
Mhm.
sex with her?
If she
Okay, so let
somehow
Anthony
didn't have a mouth.
So we'll play this game. Anthony, who we'll remove your wife from the conversation because that's your go-to answer, and who's a 10. So who's a 10 in your mind?
Let's see here. So do you know Jenna Fisher, the actress
Yeah, from
Yes.
The Office.
from The Office? Yeah.
Okay, so she's a 10 to you.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, so if she was missing her arm, would you still fuck
Yes.
her? If she was missing both of her arms, would you still
Yes.
fuck her?
If
was
she had
missing-
if she didn't have a heartbeat, would you still fuck her? That's a yes.
If she was still warm.
How long ago did it stop? Okay, so if she's missing both of her arms and she has scoliosis, would you fuck her?
I don't. What does scoliosis look like? Is that where she's like all hunched over?
Like a pretzel. Yeah.
No, I'd be out at that point. I think.
What is wrong with you, you bigot?
Damn it.
All right. So back to that cunt Jasmine Kane.
Yes.
So I'm sure you've seen the other night. I was sitting there and going through Twitter and all that shit, and I seen that she had posted. And every once in a while, I'll retweet her shit or tell people to go check her out or all that shit. And it just pissed me off because I have yet so much as get a like or a retweet or anything. So that's when I made that comment that hopefully she's known for stage diving, that hopefully she stage dives and nobody catches her.
Right.
And,
Looks
and
like
I thought, and I thought that would get me blocked.
Nope. You're still in. I'm out because I called her because I said she looked like Brian Adams.
That's too much. She can't handle that.
She can't handle that.
You know what that means? She's self-conscious about it. She's always thought that to herself.
Damn. They know.
They know.
It's not just me.
You know what? You never see her and Brian Adams at the same place at the same time.
No.
Yeah, that's a strange coincidence. I never have seen them
right.
together.
I'd like to see her open for Brian Adams. See if that works out.
She's running back and forth doing costume changes.
You know, trying to tuck her manliness up her upper ass so she doesn't have a package when she's in those tight pants.
I got my first set of 6 strings.
This poor girl did nothing to us.
The fuck if she didn't.
Nothing to
The
me.
fuck if she didn't. We had a written contract.
We had a written contract. You should try to sue her.
You didn't retweet me.
I'm charging you with 1 count of failure to retweet.
So
That's right.
So why is it that I feel bad about this, but I could give a shit less about this rap thing?
See, now I'm the other way around. I feel bad about the rap thing. Could give 2 shits about Jasmine King.
Why? Because she looks like Brian Adams?
No, I don't know Jasmine King. That's why. If I knew her, I'd have to retract all this, and that would really
No,
piss me off.
that's not. I can tell you what the reason is. One, Anthony is wrong in this, but the reason why you don't feel anything for Jasmine Kane is because you know whether you said I was making a big deal about it or whatever, but when we were at that point, we didn't have as big an audience as we do now. So, one of the things that we were doing is reaching out to people that had more followers than us, and then we would promote their music, and then the deal was that they would retweet our shit. Well, we promoted her music, we played it on the show, we talked about her, and I think we even built her up a little bit, and then she just turns around and completely ignores it. That's bullshit. It's fucking bullshit.
Well, to be honest with you, the reason I don't care is because she did that to you guys, and you guys, I consider you guys friends. So when she screwed you, then I'm on your side.
You're proving my point. That's what I'm saying. That's
Right.
why you don't care about what she did. Because it's the same thing as when that Yahoo or the Bob and Tom or Dick and Balls.
Tom and Steve.
Right.
The ones with the dicks for noses?
Right. They haven't put a show out since.
Are you
They have
serious?
not put a show out. No, they're done. Well, I don't know. There was another show that we buried because these. What do you hear about these redneck hillbillies? So the show is named Crime and Cocktails. All right. So what they do is they take the computer. Now they don't even have a microphone. I guarantee you, they open up the laptop and they sit it on the bar. All right. And what they do is they drink and they talk about crimes. All right. So that's their show. The audio quality's horrible. They scream over each other, and the dog's barking. And the one woman so far off mic, she sounds like Kenny from from South Park. So that's not bad enough. Now listen, I don't care that they do that. If you want to be a podcast, that's fine. But what they did was they went to all these other crime podcasts, like their competition, and they went and they put in 1-star iTunes reviews and said, "This show is not funny or entertaining. Come listen to Crime and Cocktails." And they did it to like 31 people.
Oh, that's fucking bullshit.
That's
Right.
horrible.
So I got on and I buried that show. I'd had enough, and I was like, okay. And we did 45 minutes on them. And, it's like I said, I could see it now with her and get on that pooter box and start giving some of them iTunes reviews. Listen to Crime and Cocktails. We are drunk and funny, not like any of these other shows. Come listen to Crime and Cocktails. We have 4 people, 1 mic. It's like 2 girls, 1 cup without the scat. So anyhow, we did that, and they stopped. And I think their last show was November 30th. And then all of a sudden, Saturday night, they dropped 7 episodes. 7 episodes out at once. So they're back. They're back, baby.
Same audio quality?
Oh, it's horrible. I dare you to listen to 20 minutes. You know what it's like? It's one of those things where you get on your, like if you were dating your girlfriend and you get behind her and you're like going to have sex and you come in from behind, you put your arm around her and then you whisper in her ear, you fuck like your sister and try to hang on for 10 seconds. So I dare you to listen to that show for 10 minutes. To be quite honest with you, it's horrible. It's
No,
ridiculously
I'll
horrible.
give it a whirl.
I'm sure
Have you listened to that podcast that I talked about last week, the Pizza Podcaster?
No, I haven't got a chance to listen to that yet.
Oh fuck,
I-
man!
I
I love the concept of what he's doing. He records everything on his phone while he's driving out driving delivering pizzas, and it's like our show with there's no point, there's no setup, there's no anything. It's whatever's on his mind. I love it. I'm addicted to that fucking show. He's just starting out, so I'm on the ground floor. God damn it!
There you go. I started listening to episode 1. That's what I like about podcasting. I mean, if you have an idea for something, it doesn't have to be a format. It can be whatever you want it to be.
Hey, John, have you tried listening to Conspiring to Argue yet?
I have.
You got any thoughts?
I went on a
Such a
Facebook
nice
rant.
guy.
I went on a Facebook rant. I didn't name names. I mean, the guys are trying hard, and I wanted to like that show so much because I'm into conspiracy theories. They had some good stuff. Their content's good. I don't know how many shows they've done. They might get better. The one guy stutters a lot. And then the other guy, as he finally stops stuttering and gets into the flow, the other guy interrupts him for some stupid reason. And then the guy goes back in and they get off topic again. And I tried listening. That was one of the ones I tried listening to 5 episodes. And again, I mean, it's just not my cup of tea.
So, what's funny is this morning, actually, so I don't know why, but I woke up at like 3:30 in the morning. And, of course, everybody else in the house is sleeping. So I come down to my little cubby hole here and sitting here just doing my own thing, listening to podcasts. And I stumbled back across their page. I haven't listened to them in about a month or so. And I started listening to an episode, and I still love that podcast, but it just didn't interest me. So I jumped to the next one. And then I was looking at their show notes, and I seen that they started doing podcast shout outs. So like any person that's got a need to, right. But anybody that has a need to hear their name brought up on the air, I started jumping around looking for them. So I was on their most recent episode. They did their podcast shout outs. We weren't on there. Went to the next episode. They did their podcast shout outs. We weren't on there. And I was to the point to where I was like, all right, I'm going to Jasmine Kane their ass. I've spent the last, I don't know, 8-10 weeks, I guess, doing what I thought was a good job of trying to help get an audience to them. I am very immature and mean, I guess. I start, Anthony could tell you, even in my personal life, I'm a vindictive prick. So I get I get to the point where I'm ready to just cut ties with these fucking guys. And
are you mad at me, Conspiring to Argue? Why aren't you giving us a shout out?
Oh,
you know what I'm trying to do? I mean, I'm trying to send us our audience. You suck.
I can't argue with that. It's immature. It's fucking fucked up in the head. I understand that. That doesn't change anything. So as they get done with their podcast shout outs or whatever, they say, well, let us know when what you thought of this episode and which one of us was right. And then the other one says, well, Doug's always right. And he said, well, no, I'm on Team Anthony. Well, I'm on Team Doug. And they went on this whole nice thing about us. And then I was calm again.
Oh, okay.
I'm just happy that somebody's on my team.
They were just about ready to get a big
Fuck you!
and then that was the end of that. They made all nice. Oh,
So if you could you, the next time you do a podcast shout out, could you only talk about us and make it for about 45 minutes?
No. Oh,
Please? Please?
I'll be talking about you. Trust me. Again, I do. I love your show. Like I said, I wake up Sunday morning, I get a cup of coffee, and I turn on the show and I listen to it.
All right,
And
so
I fast forward through Anthony. But go ahead. I'm sorry. What was that, Anthony?
I'm not asking you this to get, I don't know why I'm asking you this. What is it that you like? I want to know why people listen to our show. What is it?
That's a good question, actually, because we don't know.
Yeah, I have no fucking clue.
Well, again, I don't know if I'll get tired of this, but it's just you two trying to get together and have a show. It's like chaos. The show is chaos. In the middle of something, all of a sudden, Doug's doing his best to be entertaining and all, and then Anthony's like, I don't know, what do you want me to say? Well, give me the punchline so I can. Give me a setup so I can make you fun. Whatever you need to tell the joke, and I'm just.
Okay, so you don't think the show itself is
I didn't
funny.
say that.
It's
I
just
didn't, don't put words in my mouth. I didn't say that. I said I love.
Is that what you got out of it, Anthony?
No, okay. Well, then I guess
Okay.
I missed. I love the awkwardness, and I love the realness of.
Fuck.
It's not. I never thought of it as awkward.
You don't think that's awkward? Where you're sitting there and you're saying something, and all of a sudden I hear under Doug's breath, "Oh, he's killing me. I have to take this anymore." Right.
I'm just so used to it.
And I just.
It happens
And the
like 6 times
emotion's
a show.
so real. I mean, it's just so. It's not that you guys say funny stuff. I mean, it's not that you're not funny, but there's that addedness of you're trying to, make the show flow or whatever's going on, and when it doesn't go well, he
John,
gets.
you're fucking
Yeah,
killing me.
exactly. Listen. That's all the polish I have for this dog turd. What do you want from me?
So here, I thought we were putting out a quality product. It turns out it's just
Really?
like a fucking.
Okay.
Really?
Do you ever go back and listen? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, that's like the second time somebody's asked me that today.
I'm busting your balls.
Oh shit.
So in all honesty, so that was something I wanted to bring up. I'll go back and listen to some of our old episodes,
Yes.
like the thing we just did 2-3 weeks ago with the interview about the orangutan.
Yes.
That shit makes me laugh, and it's me, and that, I mean, it makes me laugh. I went back to, I don't know, it was probably 10-15 episodes ago and listened to it, and I'm telling you, it was like fucking cringeworthy. I couldn't stand to listen to it. I was trying to see,
Right.
trying to look at it, because it's, you know how it is. If you go back and listen to one of your old episodes, you don't even remember saying the shit that you said. So I'm sitting there listening to it, and it was back when I was using the old headset mic, so the quality, the sound quality was horrible. The content was horrible. There might have been 4 or 5 good belly laughs throughout the whole fucking 2 hours of it. But one of the things, I had it in my car when I was driving, and I had the volume up real loud. And that fucking microphone, if you go back and listen to it, you can hear whenever Anthony's talking, my fat mouth breathing ass is like, oh.
You got a nose whistle.
I mean, it was fucking distracting. Anthony's sitting there trying to talk, and all
that
you
was the
hear
first
is
thing
me
that
like,
happened when I listened to it. When you tweeted to me and said, "Hey, put me on your listening list," and I said, "Okay." So I listened to it, and I'll never forget. It was where you said something about rape, and then you said that's when you drop your pants, reverse rape, or you drop your pants and you back up into somebody real fast, and that just cracked me up. And
Reverse
I was
rape.
kind of hooked. And then your show was another show that when I listened to it, I'm not just giving you guys a reach around. When I first listened to your show, I was hooked on it, to be quite honest with you. But the sound quality was horrible, and it was hard to listen to. And I said, well, I'll reach out and see if I can help them out here and see if they'll listen or tell me to go fuck myself. I've had that happen. I've had that both happen. So, and again, for me, I just love to help. We're all doing this for fun, for entertainment, for to be funny, and I just like to help people do that. So, and I've been doing this, I guess, 5 years now, and I've edited over 1,000 episodes. So, I know a little bit about things, and I can hear him whistle. I can hear his nose whistling now. But
what I like is that you have no problem getting on Facebook groups, like podcast editing Facebook groups, and letting everybody know how much you know.
I did finally lose my shit that day, and I don't want to bore anybody. But what happened
Never
was
stopped
there's a
you
lot
before.
of guys in that. There's a lot of guys. There's an editing group in there, and there's a lot of guys that are trying to learn how to edit, and so they're trying to figure out some an easy way to get good sound quality, Anthony, and. So I dropped something in there, and I was, before and after, and then of course these sound engineers that come in that has had like 6 years of school, and they're mixing for bands and stuff like that. They're like, oh, well, I do this. Well, these other guys don't know how to do that. And now they're making it sound like I don't know what I'm talking about. And then the one guy says, well, what shows can I listen to some of your shows? I said, okay, here we go. I guess we're having a cock off. So I rolled out my resume and I laid all about, 10 shows. And I said, when you're done with that, you need more. Cut back to me. I got more. So, yeah, you're right. I'm a guy that I don't back down. So that is me. Like today, I came on there. You're like, do you want to come on? I'm like, do I?
Well, it wasn't a challenge.
You want to come on here and talk shit about me,
I'm sorry.
but your fucking
Okay,
best buddy
I tried to
Doug.
steal him away from you when me and Deuce were having problems. I thought Deuce wasn't going to come back to the show anymore. I was like, listen, get rid of that Anthony. He's a loser. Me and you, we'll have a show.
All of a
It'll
sudden, John
sound
turned into
better.
Vanilla Ice. He was like, "Hey, why don't you drop that zero and get with the hero?"
That's right. But apparently he likes you. So I don't know.
Awesome. He doesn't like
There
me.
you
He
go.
just likes my doggy style.
All right, way to go, Shell Killer.
Who was that? Is
Yep,
that the
that
wife?
was it.
No,
Oh, he
him.
was talking about me.
I thought I heard a woman speaking. Okay.
well, Anthony, I think you got to get up for work in the morning, don't you?
I do.
Yeah.
Can't you notice I've been trying to push you guys off?
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh. Oh, shit.
This awkwardness is fun. This quiet awkwardness is
It's
fun.
not awkward.
I'm
I'm
used
not
to it now.
awkward at all. None of this is awkward. What the fuck?
Okay. I have no idea what's
I
going
don't
on.
know.
Don't
either.
you fucking worry about it.
All right. It's all part
right.
of the show, folks.
Oh yeah, don't forget to donate to our Patreon.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
You don't have $12 a year for these clowns? Come
Yeah.
on.
Yeah.
All you gotta do is $1 a month. It's $12. If you put it, it's just $12 for a year. Give them $12, and they might actually do some.
Shut the
better
fuck
You
up.
don't tell them what we're gonna do. I don't put that promise out there. Can't handle that kind of
Anthony-
pressure.
Anthony might take a course so he can learn how to make better sound quality. That could happen with the $12.
Nope. I've got all the equipment and none of the talent, and that's the way it's gonna stay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, thanks for coming on, John. That was fun.
Hey, anytime. This has been fun. I enjoyed it.
Was
It's like therapy.
Therapy.
was this time better for you, or are you gonna get back on your
Yes.
show and just fucking complain, rant, and bitch
Both.
again?
Both. It was better, and I'm still going to go back on my show and
And
bitch
just
and
about
complain.
me though.
That's true.
For some reason, you and Doug are best friends now.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
He's moving closer. We're gonna meet like in Virginia and have lunch one day.
Yeah, that sounds gay.
Mm-hmm. Jealous.
We're gonna get on a teeter-totter, and it's not gonna.
It's going to snap in half.
Oh shit!
All right.
Bye.
Well, thanks for coming on, John.
No
Yep,
problem.
have a good night.
Talk to you guys later.
See ya.
Hey, what's up? I am testing this recording thing. So
You gonna fucking
gonna
leave
stop
or what?
recording?
Conversation. Just the one-sided. I wanted to see if it's gonna pick up me moving the microphone around or your voice through the speaker. So am I gonna have to zip the file to send it to you? I know what it is. I don't have one. Yeah. Do you have Dropbox? Is there a limit to the file size? WAV file. WAV files are pretty big. All right. WAV files are pretty big. All right. Well, I'll give that a try. A Microsoft deal.